Hotel Council is proud to host a forum for women to connect and hear stories from women leaders within our hospitality industry. I'm so excited to be here today. We have over 600 people in the room. This year's theme is Know Your Power. As Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House and congressional leader, says, know your power and others will know it too.
We don't test those limits, we don't test those boundaries. The same patriarchal society that has been existing will continue to exist. We will continue to get the same results that we are all in this room collectively trying to change. Redefine what leadership looks like. Do not play small. Do not play second.
I dealt with a lot of fear and anxiety over the course of the campaign, and I had to be very careful to hold it together and not show that publicly. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is going forward and doing the right thing in spite of your fear. It's a very tough line for women to walk in a leadership role, and that was a lesson for me that no matter what you do, you're gonna get backlash and you're gonna be wrong.
Did you ever consider quitting?
Absolutely never. Absolutely.
Girlfriend.
Woo! Yeah.
Studies have also shown that one of the most powerful ways to impact your own career is by listening to stories of those that have come before you.
I knew that I always wanted to be surrounded by people I admired. I sort of looked around people I worked with, including Malia, and said, what are the traits and what are the qualities of these people I admire so much, and how do I do that and implement that in my career? So I think a lot of it has been influenced by people who came before me, and also remembering your values, like what's important to you.
I knew that I was good at this one piece, and that if I took a risk and asked for this job, that there would be opportunities down the road to grow. So I'd say long term, it's just being open to sometimes those small steps and kind of going out on a limb and asking for something that could be a no will have benefits beyond anything you can imagine.
Keep track of your accomplishments throughout the year. Even if they're small, sometimes you forget those cumulative kind of achievements that you've had that actually lead up to a really significant part of a final project.
If you only prepare for the promotion when it's posted, you're not going to get the job. I feel that your entire work life is an interview, especially if you're expecting the promotion to happen within the company, which I think is always preferable because your team knows you already, especially through promotable work. They know what great work you do.
When you actually can implement some changes at the workplace in the way people feel about working there, in the values that they bring with them to the workplace, it really does make a profound change.
Women feel like sometimes they're not ready for the next thing, or they doubt themselves a bit more. So we set up formal apprenticeship programs so that if somebody wants that next step to become, for instance, Director of Sales and Marketing or Director of Revenue Management or whatever that might be, that you actually apprentice. So you sit in on the meetings, you're part of the presentations, you're involved in all that dialogue, so that when that job is posted and is available, you can actually check the box and say, I have done that, I am comfortable in that setting, I've presented with that group. So there's a bit more of that sense of confidence to throw your name in the ring and to be a part of that conversation.
That open door policy where someone can just say, like, hey, you said this, is this what we're doing? Like, is this the direction we're going? Because I have another idea. And being open to that. I mean, I prefer to have a lot of smart people around me because that way I don't always have to have the ideas.
The change that came is the change that oftentimes you're brave enough to embrace.
Don't take notes. If you're in a room full of gentlemen, which I very often was, I said, when somebody said, can somebody take notes? You look away.
Never make eye contact.
Being able to give feedback in a really good way is going to make you a better leader. And being able to receive feedback so you can ask the questions. And I think if you can do that, it makes the culture better because it's every single person in a leadership role in a hotel makes the culture. It isn't you. If you're doing it and your team isn't doing it, it's not going to work.
On behalf of the City and County of San Francisco and the Hotel Council of San Francisco, I want to celebrate your 5th annual Women in Leadership Forum We're pleased to recognize you for providing a space to encourage women in the business community. Thank you so much for your dedication to making sure that we're encouraging women's leadership and growth in San Francisco. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.